to that end. We're happy to welcome in Dr. Mark Proctor right now as he joins us here at the TD Garden. First of all, Doc, thanks for being with us and all of the people from Children's tonight. What's the current status of student-athlete concussion regulations in Massachusetts?
Sure. So the history of the concussion laws is relatively fascinating because there wasn't a single concussion law in the country until 2009 when Washington State first enacted one. Massachusetts was an early adopter, so the first concussion law here was in 2010. And as of 2014, all 50 states have concussion laws. So this was shepherded in across the country in just a matter of 5 years. So in Massachusetts, as in most other states, there's sort of four main components to the law. One is that every coach, trainer, athlete, and the athlete's parent has to go through annual concussion training. Two is that every school that uses any municipal lands has to abide by the concussion laws. Three is that if an athlete suffers a concussion, it's mandatory. They need to be pulled from play that game. There's no discretion. And the fourth component is that a medical professional has to clear them to go back, so it can't be the coach or the trainer.
What's the future of baseline testing with funds that are raised and what you use it for?
So baseline neurocognitive testing, if you might imagine a concussion, unlike some other broken bone, it's not always visible. It's not a visible injury. Some of the athletes don't really want to admit they had a concussion because they want to go back to play. So neurocognitive testing is a way of assessing, has that athlete had a concussion? So you use computerized testing to assess their function at baseline. And then if you think they've suffered a concussion, you put them through another cycle of tests to see if they've in fact suffered a concussion. And essentially it's optional in Massachusetts. So for instance, I'm fortunate to be enough in a district that has adequate funds to do it. So my son, when he was in high school as a tennis player, had to go through baseline testing for concussion. Not a high concussion risk sport.
I will say that I asked permission before I did this, but Steve Tagarellis, the guy who's running that camera, you performed brain surgery on him 12 years ago.
Yeah, I was pretty honored that he recognized me. Obviously, he was a teenager at the time, so I didn't recognize him when I walked in tonight. He did promise he'd make me look 10 pounds lighter here on TV tonight.
Well, if he'd help me out too, I'd appreciate it. Doc, it's great to see you. Thank you very much.